everybody, and welcome to a tier list video thing. So I know I haven't done any Plants vs. Zombies videos, but that's partly because the game does not really allow me to record microphone and audio at the same time. And since tier list videos are pretty popular, I thought, why not rank all the plants? I ordered the first 9 ones based on the order you get them in the game, but then I just stopped ordering them. So first we have the pea shooter. It's the first plant you unlock in the game. I'm going to put him B tier since it's, even though it is necessary to beat those first few levels, it really doesn't matter as much. In fact, I'm going to move it down to C tier. It's alright. The sunflower, total S tier. It's almost necessary to beat the game. Actually, now that I think about it, it might be necessary. Because in the first night level, you only have access to... the only plant you can plant with... Actually, I take it back. People have done it without it. But it's never easy. It's almost necessary. Cherry bomb. This one's an interesting plant. The thing is, it's instant and it's really expensive. Its best use, I think, is for taking out gargantuars. I'm going to place it in C tier with the pea shooter, since it's, in my opinion, rivaled by another plant, which we'll get to later. Walnut. I think this is a pretty useful plant, so I'm going to put it in B tier. Actually, I'm going to move the pea shooter up to B tier as well, with the walnut, because they're both really useful plants. Ooh, potato mine. So for a while I actually didn't know this, but you can actually plant like 1 or 2 rows of sunflowers. And when the first few plants come by, you just place a potato mine. When the first few zombies come by, you just place a potato mine. And later on, you can even do that with certain other one-use plants, but we'll get to those later. And by the time the zombies get to it, they'll explode. And it's actually really useful. So because of that, it gets B tier, yeah. Ooh, snow pea. It's a pretty good plant. And because it slows down the zombies, I'm gonna put it 1 tier above pea shooter. Anyways, chomper. C tier. It takes way too long to digest. So if it eats a zombie, it's almost certainly toast. If there's too many more zombies. Repeater goes in A tier with snow pea, in my opinion. You kind of need it. And well, you don't need it. It's probably easy to beat the game without it, but it allows you to shoot twice as much from a pea shooter within the same amount of space. Yes, I know it does cost twice as much, but it's space preservation. And if you combine it with an ice shroom, the two of them can be extremely powerful together, because it's the equivalent of having an ice shroom and 2 pea shooters, but the ice effect still lasts just as long. Puff shroom. It's really, it's pretty good. I actually didn't know this at first, and but it can actually take out a normal zombie. Just one, though. So and also it's free, so C tier. Oh, and it only works at night unless you have coffee bean. We'll get to that later. Blover. D tier. Kind of lame in my opinion. Unless you're being crazily assaulted by balloon zombies, it's not super useful. I'd personally rather go with a line of cactuses. I mean, they're just about as good as a pea shooter. I believe. Maybe just a little weaker?
Our new smokehouse brisket burger brings it all to the table. Meaty.
Ads. Sorry. Okay. Anyways. We got distracted. Oh, alright. So, we'll get to the cactus later, though. Cabbage pulled. B tier. It's basically the pea shooter for roof levels. Yeah, that's about it. Cactus. Okay. I'm actually gonna put this, since this isn't really a ranking video, A tier. It's basically a pea shooter that can defeat balloon zombies, which is really useful. Okay, for the upgrade plants, if we encounter an upgrade plant, I'm just gonna move it to the end, since we want to cover it, unless we've already covered its thing before. Anyways, coffee bean. It's a little early. We haven't discussed some of the mushrooms, so it doesn't seem as useful yet. We'll get back to that one later. Okay? In fact, where's our last mushroom? I'll put it right after the last mushroom. There we go. Well, that's not an upgrade. Actually, maybe we will get to cover that one. Anyways. Well, probably our Zoom Shroom. This is a very powerful instant. And it can, basically, if you position it right, destroy most of the screen. And, fun fact, it's actually cheaper than Cherry Bomb. But it leaves a crater in the ground for a few minutes. I'm gonna put it in B tier, though, because of its larger explosion and cheaper cost. Flower Pot, absolute A tier. It's very useful for roof levels. You can beat them without it, because you get some placed pots. But if we're just judging, let's assume we're judging off the plant itself, not its plantable act, which I'm gonna say we are. S tier. You need it for the roof levels. It is the only plant, of course, that can be planted on the roof directly. And you can plant other plants in it. Fume Shroom, A tier. It has a short range, yes, but it can hit multiple zombies and go through screen doors. Pretty useful. Okay, garlic. I don't know. I honestly feel like it's a B tier. It's just so useful. Was the thing. But it's you can have a garlic near the front of your line on the roof levels, because that's when you unlock it, and then just have a ton of sun on that lane. Problem is that there's a lot. The thing that brings it down, for one, it does eventually degrade. And also it's in the times when you get it, becomes less useful because there's the things that can just wipe it away immediately. But on the bright side, you can use it in like survival, so that's pretty useful. Gatling P we actually can discuss because we've discussed repeater. Again, I don't want to put it in S tier. There needs to be like something in between A and S tier. Hang on, let me just create that real quick. Okay, so what I did is I turned our current S tier into S plus, and it's gonna go in S tier. Now I can reorder things from here, but I'm not going to. There's nothing really in A tier that I really think deserves our new S tier at the moment. Gloom Shroom, A tier as well. It has a much shorter range, but it's out, which may seem worse, but it can shoot in all directions. I'm just gonna leave it in A tier. It also costs more cents. Gold Magnet. I think this is one of the. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of the upgrade plans. Let me know in the comment section if I made a screw up there. I very well might have. Gold Magnet could very well be not an upgrade. I literally don't know. Anyways, let's move on. Gravebuster S tier. Yeah, it's it's relatively cheap, and it can destroy the graves, and it does get you a silver, a coin for doing it. It's just pretty good. Hypno Shroom. I always really liked Hypno Shroom, but now that I think about it, it's actually not that powerful. I'm gonna put it in D tier just because I like it. It's a really fun idea. And I love hypnotizing dancer zombies. Sorry. Hypnotizing dancer zombies is like the best thing. Ice Shroom. I think this is Ice Shroom. Yeah, that's what it's called, right? C tier. The only really good use for it is in combination with Coffee Bead, and we'll get to that later. It can actually stop the ambush that comes from the pool. Well, if you time it right, and it freezes all zombies on screen, which is kind of useful. It also does minimal damage, but that's really just a side effect. It's alright. Imitator. I actually haven't used this plant. It's really just okay. C tier. It allows you to bring 2 of the same plant into a level, which allows for shorter cooldowns, but unless you're doing like some challenge, there isn't really a huge use to it. Again, I could see it from a challenge point of view, it being useful, but jalapeno. I'm actually gonna put this in B tier. It can melt the ice from the zombonis, which is really helpful in the pool levels where you unlock it. And it can also deal the same amount of damage as a cherry bomb, which means you can 2-hit gargantuars with it. And it's cheaper. Now, what gets really cool is if you combine jalapeno and cherry bomb, You can almost instantly defeat a Gargantuar, but you still have to put up a camp. Colonel Pult. I'm gonna put this straight with Cabbage Pult. It deals less damage, but it has butter. Actually, A tier. Nah, B tier. It doesn't throw butter very often. Absolute S plus for Lily Pad. Not really much to say about it. It basically allows you to plant in the water. Super useful. Like, literally only a couple other plants can do that. And you unlock them way later. I'm not even sure if it's possible to beat the entirety of the pool and fog levels of adventure mode without using Lily Pad. It probably is in survival because you immediately have access to 3-peater, but it's still kind of hard. Anyways. Ooh, Magnet Shrew. Absolute A tier. It can remove any metal object from zombies, which makes a lot of the stronger zombies almost entirely useless. And you can eat, and if you use it with the coffee bean, and you can it can be used anywhere. Marigold, a lot of people would probably put in an F tier. But I feel like that's a bit rough going on poor Marigold. It's not her fault that she doesn't really do much. However, here's the really cool thing. If you were to, let's say you managed to do something like survival, and you stall out the very first or last zombie, and then you just plant Marigold, you'd have a coin farm. I mean, isn't that just epic? That's enough to put Marigold in D tier. Although for more experienced players, it would likely go in F tier. Actually, for judging off of the plant's usefulness, not including coin generation, then I guess it goes in F tier. But I'm gonna put it in D tier because nothing deserves F tier in my opinion. Maybe I should just delete F tier. Okay, anything after the tier list for the snapshot for showing off the final tier list, I'm probably deleting F tier if it doesn't get anything. Anyways, Melon Pult has to go in A tier. I probably could not have beaten Rook without it. It is absolutely the most overpowered thing. It does a ton of damage up front, but then it deals splash damage to things around it. Although it does cost 300 stun, so it's not super overpowered. Plantern S tier. Basically, it and Cactus are a better blower. I know a lot of people would say that Blower is better than Cactus, but I don't get those people. Anyways, enough with Blower and Cactus. His Plantern allows you to see in the fog levels, which is really useful. Pumpkin and Pumpkin. Okay, this one is completely overpowered. Based on where I put Walnut, I'm gonna put it above that. But it can not only has about as much health as the Walnut, I think it's the same, but it even can store another plant inside of it, which means you can defend that plant and everything else without the pumpkin without any harm. And it basically is a walnut that takes up less space. That doesn't take up space. Except there is two downsides. It costs more, which is obvious because it's more overpowered. And also your zombie can almost immediately begin launching on another plant, which isn't really much of a downside. Scared of shroom? C tier. It's long ranged, but not short ranged. And also it's pretty weak. Thing is, when the zombie gets up close to it, if you don't have anything else, it's toast. Like literally, it's just toast. Period. Full stop. Sea shroom. C tier. It's basically puff shroom. It is literally puff shroom for the water. Except it has a shorter. Except it takes longer between planting, which I guess makes sense. You don't need as much of it. It's still kind of annoying. Spikeweed. C tier, I guess. It's a plant that damages zombies that walk over it. Well, sure, it can't be damaged. It's still not super overpowered. And sure, it can instantly defeat a zomboni. Our next plant, the spike rock, can do it without being defeated, which the spikeweed cannot. I think, at least. And the spike rock also does more damage than the spikeweed. Split pea. I'm gonna put it in B tier since... Actually, A tier since it is better than pea shooter. It's a repeater backwards, which basically is only good against minor zombies. Or if there's some zombie close to your house and you can plant that. It's alright. Squash. Let's see. I'm gonna put up in B tier with potato mine. Maybe 8. Maybe it deserves A tier. Too bad there isn't a tier in between. Okay, since I can't decide, I'm just gonna randomly do it. The wheel has decided it will go in B tier. Anyways, squash is basically potato mine, except it doesn't have to charge up, but it costs more sun, which can be used. It can also be used to longer stall the zombies. He's at the very beginning, which is pretty useful for building up sun. Ooh, star fruit. B tier. It can shoot in 5 directions, which one of them is straight backwards. But it can't shoot straight forwards. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Another hard one. Wow. Anyways, I might actually put it up with here. I mean, I have stuff like split pea. It's alright. I'm gonna keep it here. Sunshroom. A tier. It's just more case specific. Actually, let's put it in S tier because that's one below sunshroom. I mean sunflower. It's basically the night alternative. I always seem to do better with it. When using it than sunflower, but that only works at night. So that's all I'm gonna say about it. Gold magnet I'm gonna put it in A tier with the magnet shroom. I think if it can work fully normally in the day, that would be an S tier. But I don't. Hang on. Okay, it gets an S tier because I just looked it up. It actually doesn't it actually wakes up when you turn it into a gold magnet. So you don't want to use a coffee bean before that. Oh yeah, speaking of coffee bean. I'm going to put it in A tier. It allows you to wake up your nighttime plants, but most of those, the only real good side is Magnet Shroom. In fact, I'm going to move it down to B tier. B tier's really filling up. Because really, it quickly gets outbeaten by Gold Magnet, which can attract coins. Tall Nut. Better Walnut. Better defense. Better block. It can't be jumped over, and it has way more health. It's just as expensive as a pumpkin. Ooh, this one. Tangle Kelp and C tier. It's alright, I guess. But it's only one-time use, and it only defeats a single zombie. And it only works in the water. It's basically a water squash. Actually, now that I think about it, it is a water squash. B tier. 3-peater again. A tier. It does help to be able to hit 3 lanes with one plant. But it has a really high cost, making it somewhat inefficient. Torchwood? A tier. It can set your peas on fire, but if you're using it, you have to put your snow peas in front, because if they shoot through it, they'll just turn into normal pea shooters. That's kind of annoying. Twin Sunflower. Ooh, we're getting into the upgrades. I want to do these upgrades last. So, the Umbrella Leaf, total S tier. I'm just gonna delete. Hang on, let me go ahead and delete F tier. Umbrella Leaf it's the S tier. It's just really useful. Well, it blocks bungee zombies and catapult zombies. 3x3 radius. So that's pretty useful. So, for those of you that want to take a look at the entire tier list without any upgrades besides Gold Magnet, here, let me take that out for you guys. And plus, I want to rate Gold Magnet with the rest of the upgrades. Here we go. So, there we go. It is right on screen right now. Okay, that's long enough. Twin Sunflower. I'm going to be comparing these based off of how much they add to the plant. Based for its base power and their cost. Twin Sunflower, I'm actually going to put in only S tier, because it costs more than double, about the amount of 2.5 sunflowers. Like, you'd get more than, you'd have less than half the cost to just plant another sunflower, and you'd still keep, even though you'd lose some extra space. Wintermelon, total S tier as well. Wintermelon, maybe A tier. Ooh, it can freeze. It has splash freezing. Yeah, I think S tier is okay. It's kind of pricey, but remember that we unlock these during the roof levels. where you can't just mix a snow pea and a melon bolt. Cattail. I'm actually going to put this down in B tier. I like cattail. It's really cute. But the one downside is you can't put other things on top of it. You have to sacrifice that part of the lily pad. That's what gets it down in B tier. But design-wise, it would. But if we were just ranking based on design, it would go total S+. It is the cutest thing ever. Okay, maybe not. Actual cats are cuter. Although I like the idea. And it's a cool, and it does bring potential for challenges. Anyways, Cob Cannon. This one I don't think I've really used. I'm pretty sure you can choose where you want the kernel gigantic cobs to land. You need 2 of them, but also I believe it's immune to bungees, which is really interesting. Oh, and did I mention? And I believe it. And also, it's over. Absolutely, the explosion is so powerful. Again, gold magnet. Probably. Okay, if we're basing on how much the add to the plant, it's only going in A tier. Really? It's going above coffee bean just because it can pick up coins. Now I'm just coming up with the idea for that. Remember with that one zombie stuck scenario? You just have a bunch of marigolds. A ton of them. And a gold magnet. See, the gold magnet doesn't get tired when it sucks up a coin, I believe. Right? Okay, so it seems like it can attract 1 every second. But I don't see anything on it getting tired after doing so. So, since it said it's 5 seconds for 5 pieces of money, so I'm just going to take that as an average of 1 per second. So, this is the finished tier list with the upgrades. I hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, and I'm hoping to get some Plants vs. Zombies these videos going as soon as I tackle as soon as I figure out a method around on the mic problem. We might just have to put up with commentary-less videos for Plants vs. Zombies. Or I might try to figure out something else that I can do for it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and goodbye.